I'm not at all a full-time streamer. This is not my full-time gig. I do this shit after my 9 to 5, right? So today was an exceptionally long day for me, and I was really regretting scheduling the first to 10 on today. But I think besides a very select few people, everyone's a garbage fighting game streamer. And then everybody tries to do the same thing. And of course it doesn't freaking work. There's too much saturation in the market for people streaming fighting games. Like if you're a random dude playing fighting games and you just turn on your stream for ranked, no one's gonna care. Like, people do not care about matches without any stakes to it. They just don't. What are your non-garbage FGC streamers? Well, let me put it this way, right? There's streamers that I like to watch, but I wouldn't necessarily say they're great streamers, right? Like, in my view, if you like watching a fighting game streamer just because they're good at the game, that's not necessarily them being a good streamer. Right? That's not necessarily them being a good streamer. I do wish that like all the top fighting game players always streamed. I think that would be useful. Like the top fighting game players streamed, but most of them don't. Besides like Punk, Idom, Daigo, and a few others. I mean, there's more these days. Most of the people do not stream. Most players do not stream. And if you like someone just because they're a good fighting game player, that doesn't mean they're a good streamer. Like, obviously, the stereotypical example is someone like Sajam, right? Sajam's a good streamer. I feel like, for me, I was able to step it up because I made an effort to do things for YouTube and have segments. Because before, I was just a decent player streaming and playing gameplay like everybody else. And maybe I would talk a bit more to the chat and everything. But besides that, I was the same as everybody else. The reason I started growing was because I actually tried to do things that would translate to YouTube, and then YouTube can get people to watch what you're doing.
There must be thousands of them.
Smug is fun to watch. Yeah, Smug is a sitcom. But the thing is, like, Smug is a good streamer because of his personality. He's a personality streamer. Even Punk. Punk is like, not only is Punk ridiculous at the game, he's an entertaining personality. I'm here from YouTube. Most of you are here from YouTube. The vast majority of the people here are from YouTube. No Japanese voices, but they're samurai. Hold on, I gotta turn this shit down.
Break their spirits.
Damn, I don't know how to turn this down. My audio's all out of whack. I'm here from Sajam. He recommended me. Nice. Welcome. Smug is FGC Germa. That's not at all true. That's not at all true. But subtitles, can I turn those on? Oh, okay. There you go. But yeah, I feel like a lot of the FGC fumbles the bag when it comes to content creation if they want to do that sort of thing. I feel like so many people do not capitalize on their status in the FGC or what they could be doing. One Vinny Boy, thanks for the tier 1. Appreciate that.
I am Harunobu Adachi, descendant of the legendary Yoshinobu Adachi.
Hold on, I'm turning this audio down. There we go. That's better for me. Is that still too loud? No streamer can amount to German? No, definitely not. They just need to watch Smash Tubers. Yeah, I mean, the one team that actually knows what the hell they're doing overall in the FGC, like at the most advanced level, is Panda. That's why Panda is killing the content creation game. But the thing is, like, you're not going to get that sponsor or anything in the FGC. You have to do it yourself. Oh shit, what am I doing here? Like, how many of you actually want to, like, grow or do something competitive-wise and, like, be able to actually, like, capitalize on being a fighting game player? Because I feel like nobody actually wants to do that or does it properly. Did I die? Cannot wait to watch another Panda tier list video. You guys talk shit about that, but like, you look at the numbers and people eat that shit up. First of all, they don't only do tier lists, right? They don't only do tier lists. That's kind of bloody. They do a lot of other stuff too. And they're consistently putting out YouTube-y stuff with YouTube-y thumbnails and get people to watch fighting games on YouTube. And which gets more people into fighting games.
As a command, Lord Shimura.
I just want to get to gold. Yeah, not everybody wants to get to like super high level. That's for sure. What's up, Rob? Appreciate the raid. Do you consider Street Fighter V a success? Do you expect Street Fighter 6 not only the genre? Oh, it's a game, but for FGC. What do you expect for Street Fighter 6? I think Street Fighter 5. I mean, it depends on what you measure as a success. A lot of people will say that Street Fighter 5 is an absolute failure. I think Street Fighter 5 did too little too late was the problem. The release of Street Fighter V was one of the most horrendous things I've ever seen in my entire life. I have never paid so much money for a pile of dog doo-doo in my life. The game itself was whatever. Like, the gameplay itself was mediocre, right? It wasn't the gameplay, it was just as a product. Street Fighter V didn't fucking work on release. It didn't work. Like, that thing, the lobbies didn't work, the menus didn't work. Like, the history of Street Fighter V with features being added and bugs, if you could see a comprehensive list of, like, the state the game was in when it released compared to where it is now, that shit would be like a whole encyclopedia. It had 0 content, 16 characters, buggy, online did not work, lobbies did not work, you'd constantly get kicked from the servers, ba-bam. So, like, Street Fighter 4 had so much momentum. The community was growing and growing. Tournaments were growing and growing. Viewership was growing and growing. And there was this big bubble forming. And then Street Fighter 5 popped that. It popped it straight up. So, like, that, if you try to measure success, Street Fighter 5 failed the FGC hard there. However, in its current state, I think the game is successful. I don't know the exact economics of it, but I'm pretty sure it's made a good profit for Capcom. They keep releasing DLC, right? The game has improved a lot. So it's not what it could have been, but I feel like overall Street Fighter V is a success. I really wish it released closer to this state. Like, Arcade Edition should have been the first version of Street Fighter V. Arcade Edition should have been the first version. They should not have released vanilla. That's some kind of failure of management or command somewhere in the corporate infrastructure. Season 1 Street Fighter V should never have happened. Yeah, Street Fighter 4 had life. I guarantee you Street Fighter 4 would have lasted another year. Dude, the number of entrants and viewers for every event was going up. You know how hard it is for a game that's like 8 years old at that point? Pretty sure the game was 8 years old. And it was still growing. The viewership, even random streams started popping off. Like, at that time, like before Street Fighter V came out, even my stream started growing. That's really when I first started heavily streaming, was towards the end of Street Fighter 4, like Ultra. Yeah, events were growing. What's going on, Hoji? I like Street Fighter V a lot more during season 3 on. I like season 2, obviously, because ROG, but I think that you cannot argue that the quality of the game was better in season 3 and further. Street Fighter V launch is night and day, yeah. The guy running the fighting game division of Capcom now is the guy who worked on the Monster Hunter games. So maybe the next game we'll see a lot of things that Street Fighter V on launch is going to be there. I feel like when you look at the current season of DLC characters, you can see just the attention to detail and quality that the new characters have. And I feel good about Street Fighter 6 personally. I feel good about it because if you look at the characters that have come out, like look at the way Dan plays, look at the way Rose plays, Oro. I haven't really touched Akira, but look at Akira. All these characters are a lot more complex which makes them kind of whack in terms of strength in Street Fighter V, but they're a lot more complex. A lot more individual player expression happening in them. So I feel like the new producers of Street Fighter V are trying to mix things up, but I like some of the other characters too. Yeah, each new character has like unique mechanics. Dan's V-skill cancels, Rose the card system and everything. Oro is just weird. My head. How was the first local you participated? The very first time I went to what I would call a local, it wasn't a tournament, it was just a meetup at Final Round Arcade in South Florida, which is not Final Round Arcade like Final Round Atlanta or Mall. It was at Mall of the Americas in Miami, which is not a good mall. I think there's another Mall of the America, which is like great. This was a kind of a janky mall with weird mom and pop stores in it at a rundown arcade. And I remember going with my friend Brandon, and before then I had just been playing with my friends and online, and this is the first time I went, and there was a big boy setup, right? And I got in line for the big boy setup. If you don't know about the hierarchy of locals when you gotta wait to play, there is the kiddie pool and there's the big boy setup, all right, the deep end. And the deep end was at a fake arcade setup. Basically, the sticks were built into an arcade cabinet. It was an Xbox 360 with a TV in the back, but it looked like an arcade setup. And people are playing. And I barely played on stick at the time. I was kind of ambidextrous with pad. And I remember sitting down to play the Bison player who had been beating everybody. And then I actually started smoking him. Not smoking him, but I was beating him. But I played kind of jank at the time. I played Balrog then in Street Fighter 4. So I was kind of like a little scrubby, EX headbutts and stuff like that. And everybody's like, ooh, Albert, you're getting your ass beat. Ooh, Albert. Like, they're talking about, you know, because it's their homie that they know, and I'm a random dude. Like, you know, I'm fresh meat, man. I have no idea what's going on. I'm nervous as hell. Everyone's staring at me. They're like, don't get beat by him. And I was landing like weird hits, and they were laughing because it was fucking weird what I was doing. Then I remember at the end, I blocked his wake up super with Bison. And they're like, punish it, punish it. And I blanked out. I was like, I don't know how. I ended up winning. And then the guy who sat down next, like, they're all kind of like, you know, heckling me pretty much. He sat down and he's like, look, to punish it, you do your super and then you end on back. And that guy ended up being my sensei for Street Fighter. We went to University of Florida together. That was JC. But, you know, it was like that mixture of heckling, busting my balls, and then, like, after that, the personal, like, hey, man, like, here's how you do it. So I look back on that fondly because it was, you know, it's like trial by fire. Bring you in and, you know, give you a hard time, but then, you know, show you how to level up a little bit. But the first actual tournament I went to was also at that arcade. And I remember that's when Ultimate first came out. So I guess my first tournament was when Ultimate not even came out, it leaked. Somehow they had a leaked copy of it, and PR Balrog was there. So he was the celebrity showing up for the local, and we're all like, whoa, PR Rog! And he was there playing Ultimate. I remember seeing Virgil, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And I don't know how they got it. And then I got my ass beat.
Broken.
I went 0-2.
But better than nothing.
Yeah, I went to UF. Do you have any sort of schedule to get better? And if so, how do you form one? I don't have a schedule, but I just try to play. I play like almost every day. Not as much anymore, but every single day I try to get better at something. Practice something, practice a new character, practice new setups, think about something, take stuff to training mode. I used to grind a lot, just matches. That was really important for me. If you guys don't know, back in Season 1 and Season 2, I was ranked like top 10 in the world on ranked. So I put in just the matches. That was very important to me.
How are your wounds? Can you run?
I think so. Where's my
So I think that's super important is like, are you actually playing enough?
Take care of this.
And are you effectively trying to level up when you play? Yo, Son Riek, thanks for the 5 months. Appreciate that.
Oh, don't hurt me.
I work in software. Do you still hold world records? Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure I still got my speedrunning world records. I got them back recently for Street Fighter 4 for the trials. Tiger Uppercut 2000, appreciate that big tier 1, my man. Enjoy your mid-tier emotes. How hard is it to watch your own losses? It depends. In general, it's fucking hard. Watching your wins, though, that's tight. That's like this. Yeah, stabbed him.
Who are you?
I'm Yuna.
But watching your losses is pretty hard. But it's pretty important to watch them. Sometimes I don't think I need to watch my losses because I can remember.
Follow me.
I've gotten better at remembering things that I'm messing up on
Long enough for the Mongols to conquer.
and thinking about it. Like a lot of the times for me now, improving is like after this set, I'm gonna go think about it in the shower and massage those mental patterns into my head while in the shower, like shampooing my hair, right? And then I'm gonna be like repeating those samurai, repeating those patterns in my head. Because a lot of times, I think with Street Fighter 5 is just about discipline. Sometimes you kind of know what you have to do, but you have to be willing to do it. Like against Nephew, right? One of the things I messed up on was I would still overextend and press buttons in situations where I knew I shouldn't.
Let's move.
I knew I shouldn't do that, but you have to fight the autopilot in you and commit to the strategy. So sometimes you kind of just have to get disciplined with what you're doing. And for me, that's just thinking. I feel like these days I think a lot, and that helps me more than anything. What's your advice for new players overwhelmed with the possible number of things to learn? You have to just break it down one by one. That's how you learn anything in life. You literally just break it down one by one. Like, you can't... learning anything that's complex is like drinking from a fire hose, so you gotta slow the flow of information to a trickle.
Wait.
You cannot drink from a fire hose, man.
Uncle.
And that's what I try to do on my YouTube channel, and I do like tutorial pieces and stuff. I try to like break down individual components and pieces.
Nephew.
I have to know. Did he survive?
What was the process of getting your first sponsor, and how is it different from switching orgs?
Prisoner
My process for getting the first sponsor is the same for getting a sponsor for the second
on
time.
the coast.
I didn't do anything,
Castle Canada.
which I think that's what Rob was talking about. I didn't do anything.
Their victory.
And I think that's super important to remember, is that if you are trying to grow in the FGC and that's something you care about, you should not need a sponsor to do anything.
Call for reinforcements.
I didn't nurse you back to
Like, I know everyone's situation is different, and maybe you're from a region where you can't play online or something like that, or you can't do content, but I really feel like
I need your help.
in most people's situations,
Can help our
if you live in the United States, if you have
It's the only family I have left.
any like ways to support yourself and have a computer, you should be streaming and getting your name out there, entering online events, trying to do well, winning them, growing on Twitter, do social media even if you don't like it, and then you will find ways to monetize your existence in competition to be able to fund yourself to be able to go to events, which is what I did. I also had a job which allowed me to go to events as well. So once I did all that, I got noticed and I was approached for both my first sponsorship and my second sponsorship. Now, the difference would be maybe my negotiation, my experience, and my expectations between my first and second sponsorship. That's the difference. But the process in getting my foot in the door was the same. I just continued to do me. And I'm at the point where if at any day a sponsor drops me or whatever, it's no skin off my back. Would I prefer to be part of a team that can provide monetary financial support, travel support, connections, access to events? Of course, yeah. But a team should need you as much as you need them. And then most people are just not in a position where that's the case. And so, like, to me, like, I've, like, before, like, in season 2, and I mean, I was streaming for a while, since like 2015, right? So season 1 was 2016, season 2 was 2017. So I was in a position for a long time where I knew, like,
I'll take that chance.
I don't want to ever put on a random fucking shirt on my back for a no-name org that is not even actually paying for my flights or anything, and I'm just fucking wearing their logo for no reason. Feeling like a chump. I never wanted to be in that position. I was proud of showing up to tournaments in my random-ass V-neck, looking normal as all hell,
Up here.
and just beating ass, beating pro players in jerseys. You know, that was sick. You know how sick that was to show up to a tournament
Need something?
dressed in regular ass clothes and then beat somebody with a sponsor on their back?
Medicine.
You what?
Don't worry.
That's dope.
Get your sword back.
That's what I was into doing. So I did that until I got approached.
We've got a long ride ahead. Take whatever supplies you can carry,
This is someone's house.
and they're not coming back.
Hold on. What did someone say? Do you feel the FGC... Do you feel it's hard to be an FGC content creator compared to any other kind of games? Yeah. But I also feel like most content creators are just bad at what they do. Like what I started doing and then what like the Panda people started doing and everything, that's not revolutionary. Like it's just look around at what other people are doing. I think most of the FGC, because the games online sucked for so long, and because everyone was so focused on tournaments and being in person, no one really thought to invest in doing the home streamer kind of route. Like, you gotta understand, this concept of the home streamer was non-existent in Street Fighter 4, beyond like a few like celebrities, right? Like when Justin Wong, Pierre Rog, Snake Eyes streamed, it was an event, and they would get mad viewers, dude. They would get like 2,000 viewers or some shit.
Your katana inside.
But the random dude who was good but not like a world-class pro streaming, that didn't exist. Now look at Street Fighter 5 section right now. There's going to be like 40 people streaming with like maybe the amount of people with 5 viewers or less is going to be like 40.
It must be here.
Right? So I think culturally, from other games like Call of Duty, shooter games, things of that nature, those games you played online from the get-go. Shooting games, FPS games, they played it online from the beginning. So this concept of sitting alone at home and playing online has always been present. And there was always a culture of like Halo, back in the day, Halo montages and shooting game montages. So content existed for personal expression, and content in shooting games existed prior to streaming. But for fighting games, unless you did like a combo video, that didn't exist. So I think that the culture just didn't exist for a long time,
Your enemy is no match
and then most people are bad at it.
but you still lack control.
I was practicing.
With your
Also, it's really easy to like just dunk on noobs in shooting games.
the sword of Clan Sakai.
Dunking on noobs in fighting games is not as easy to cover up.
Who did this to you?
No one.
I feel like you can't become a content creator in the FGC unless you're a tournament player.
I teach you to defend yourself.
Say, Jam?
I know how to fight.
And what does content creator mean to you, dude? Like, half the people who do content for Smash aren't tournament players. Like, if you mean like one format is doing,
Do that.
yeah, look at Max. Desk Max? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. One way of doing it is being the tournament player, the competitive player X content creator pipeline is easy to do, which is what I do, right? It's easy because the bar for the content quality is on the fucking floor.
Try to strike me.
It's on the floor, man. What do? I stream a tournament run, or like I talk about a concept for a little bit, and then my editor edits together and throws a song on there. It's on the fucking floor. You look at some people who do creative content for the Smash, the mods and the edits they do. They make whole fucking movies in the game engine. They do creative shit. You know, they're actually like creating art. It's totally different. But it's just easy to be a tournament player and make content. It's easy. It really is.
Your attacker would not have bruised you so easily.
You just got to do it.
Wasn't a fair fight.
Imagine he's returned to finish what he started.
Do people forget that Sage used to play in Injustice in tournaments? Yeah, just because he's used to play in tournaments and is good doesn't make him a tournament player. Lerman.
He's big, but I'm quicker. I'll stay out of his reach. Wait for him to get tired, then drop him with one strike.
Good. A samurai
Now,
is
if
always
you are bad at fighting games and you try to do stuff like what I do, obviously that shit's not going to take off.
trickery.
I'll remember.
Unless you have some crazy challenges. Like every once in a while I'll do something that
Show me Jin Sakai.
can maybe be like
Great
replicated.
courage.
How do I lock on? Can I lock on?
Break my block with a heavy attack, then strike quickly.
You don't lock on in this game? Like, yeah, if you try to do what I do and you suck, it's not going to perform well.
A heavy attack will unbalance your foe. Follow with a quick strike.
No lock on? Yeah, there's a few people who do stuff like look at what Max does. Max plays casually and has fun, and just gets hype and does YouTubey stuff, right?
Hold
Oh.
your blocking form.
Don't smack me up like that.
Fine block.
Are you hyped for Halo Infinite? Not really, but I do want to check it out. If you were to click on a random fighting game stream right now, what would make you want to stay longer than 5 minutes?
Your resolve and fight through the
Nothing. Because they're all whack. Honestly, what I look at fighting game streams, so for just regular gameplay,
It's time you learn to
most people stay because they want to just watch you be good at the character, and that's an interesting character.
attack later.
So the problem is 99.9% of streams
Not strike me.
are just ranked. So
Parry.
if someone's doing an interesting challenge, like or something with stakes, like you guys all tuned in, like a lot of you, I had like almost 1,000, right? I think for the nephew first attend. You guys tune in because it's an event. It's stakes. There's a beginning, middle, and an end. There's a plot. There's exposition,
Need to catch your breath.
right? That makes you excited for the core thing, what's going on. And then I led that into this to clickbait, you know, the remaining people to stay to do this this here session, you know, because it's a sponsored stream, because I'm not going to get fucking anybody to watch me play this damn game, right? And then I was also kind of interested in doing, you know, talking about FGC stuff. I was a little inspired by Rob. So I do that a little bit sporadically here and there while playing, but I never plan for it.
Then counter it.
So obviously I thought I'm going to have a big event, debate people in here, and then set this up, do the sponsored stream, use it as a platform to then talk about stuff and answer questions, right? So I thought through this.
See, there is no weapon, no warrior you cannot overcome.
Thank you for these lessons, Uncle.
We are not finished yet.
So I don't know, I just feel like you need a segment.
Will you honor me with a sparring match?
I wouldn't want to hurt
You need something to get people to watch, to entertain people. Otherwise, why the hell are they going to care?
5 strikes gets to choose.
So yeah, you have a few paths, right? Be godlike. Be sick of what you're doing. Be good at the game.
Very good, Joe.
Right? Or actually produce content.
You show great skill.
But you know what the thing is? Like, when I think about content creation, I still feel like everyone does it bad because no one utilizes social media platforms effectively. Nobody. Like, I do that Clips channel. Bro, I feel like even the people who just play ranked, they're all fumbling the bag so hard because they don't do YouTube.
Generations of families
I can make
lived by
anywhere between $3 to $30 on a random 30-second clip that I take from Twitch, give it a thumbnail and title, and put it on YouTube. It's a lottery ticket, but I punch that lottery ticket every 12 hours
and uphold the legacy of Clan Sakai.
onto YouTube. Those are the scraps, the in-between moments, things that are on the main channel anyways, things that are just sitting here on Twitch.
Protecting
That shit is such an easy way to monetize what you're already doing. Like, people don't realize that you need to be... Twitch just sucks at getting you anything. Yeah, I edit my own clips. I do The Clips channel is 100% me. The Clips channel is 100% me. I pick out the clips, the thumbnails, titles, whatever. That's 100% me. But what I'm saying is, it's fucking free money. People want to see your shitty little clips. Sorry, I'm being a little aggressive, right? People want to see your clips. They do want to see them. And then you just have to just get them on YouTube. For the Clips channel, I make the thumbnails. For my channel, you know, I do the competitive player to content creator pipeline, which is I have an editor, and he does the editing and the thumbnails. I plan the segments, the YouTube videos, and I push them to the drive that we share, and we kind of plan together what we're doing, and then I'll give him an idea what I'm trying to clickbait with, a title, the thumbnail ideas. Then he comes back to me, and we kind of work on it. But Double A, I mean, I got fucking lucky with Double A, right? Like there's nothing I could say besides I got fucking lucky. What? I'm blocking. Can I not block this guy? Oh, I died. Yeah, he's mad good. What's up, Dank? Which one is dodge? Is it circle? Stab him.
You found your sword.
Where can I find a horse?
The stables aren't far. This way.
Wait, how do I put the sword away? Whatever. I've been grinding the business for decades. Okay, I'm not that old. I've been grinding the business for a decade. And not even. I wasn't in the business a decade ago. I was just playing a decade ago.
Where are the stables?
Behind that burning farmhouse.
Decades, what the fuck? Relax. Also, I'm not giving myself credit. I'm just saying what I'm doing isn't special. And I think everybody fumbles the bag super hard.
Slit their throats and kill them.
There's so much untapped potential.
Without honor, I will not break my code.
Do the people in the office know you're an FGC personality? They have some idea. They know the people that I work with, they know I play video games and I compete, but you know, they don't get it.
Save everyone.
They sort of get it, but they don't get it. You know what I mean? Because like they just culturally don't understand that they don't get it. I'll just say that. On Corey Gaming, there's a snippet of you with the interview from 2016, 2015. No, that's probably from 2018. I know the what you're talking about, and I started being on interviews. There's one from 2017 and one from 2018. Wait, why do I have to keep slicing people? The tutorial mode is pretty brutal, as in like for these people, we're just like killing villagers and suffering.
I'm
Nice.
done running, and I can finally help.
Damn it.
Have you ever had somebody recognize me? I had one dude recognize me in South Florida one time around Christmas time when I was visiting for the holidays. And it was at a mall, at a crowded ass mall. And some guy was like, Brian F? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, whoa, I watch your stream. Can I get a picture? And he was like, there with his girlfriend. And I was like, word? All right. And his girlfriend's like, oh yeah, he watches you all the time. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize for interrupting your quality time. She didn't go ugh, but you know, I was leaning into that like, wait, where do we gotta go? That's gotta feel weird. What feels weird to me more than anything is when people tell me Bro, is this an infinite loop if I just they punish me over and over by having to kill these innocent people if I don't stay in the tail area?
It's close.
We can't save everyone.
I'm done running, and I can finally help.
Damn it.
Oh, I go this way. I was following her. I'm a dumbass. I was following her. She's following me. No wonder we're going in fucking circles.
Don't let anyone escape.
Don't let anyone escape? Okay, cool. What was I saying? I was saying something before that. The weirdest thing to me, it's not being recognized in public. It's when people tell me that they're watching my stream on a big TV.
Do you have somewhere to hide?
That to me is weird because for some reason, when I see myself on a computer screen or on a phone, it's not real. But when someone tells me I'm on a big TV, it's real. Like I'm in their living room with their family. And that makes me realize like, oh, I need to present myself in a way that's acceptable to society and not just my FGC bubble. I'm watching you on a 24-inch monitor. Okay, we're safe. You're watching me on a TV right now? See, that's intimidating to me. It just psychologically it flips the switch in my head. It's really weird. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. Doesn't make a difference. But to me, it flips that switch in my head where it's like, oh, let me make sure that I'm behaving acceptably and, you know, don't got any fucking boogers on my face or, you know what I mean? Like, don't pick your nose. It just reinforces that fear. No scratching, you know, don't fart on accident, whatever. Was she gonna light him up? Is this guy running? Did I heal? I can't tell what my health is. Your teeth look mad white on my TV? That's great, because I don't have white teeth, so... I definitely stain my teeth with coffee. Ouch. But I think it's interesting how Rob, he always, like, Rob's talks are always funny to me because I feel like, I don't know if it's just my lack of perspective, because I remember, I guess when I think back, I think of characters more like that way back in the day, like at my local FGC and stuff like that. To me, it feels like Rob often sets up strawmen to then make his point stronger, and it works really well to be entertaining. Because he always likes to talk about, and it's a common thing you see in social media, you talk about people being entitled or like wanting shit that you gotta work for. You set up this fake, not saying it's not based on real people, but you set up this like extreme hyper version of people being entitled for something, and then it makes your point hit home, and then everyone goes, yep, facts, word. And it works so well. So I don't know if it's just me being like out, like kind of distanced from that these days. Kage.
Kage, born from the darkness.
Kage. Born from darkness. In the living room. The rigor But yeah, he does it really well. So I don't know. Do you guys feel like people like that still are actually present? Like, do you guys know anyone? Are you that person who like feels like they should have a sponsor or like need a sponsor? And the thing is, like, most of the Twitch chat isn't really that kind of competitive person. Like, do you guys ever feel like you ever feel some type of way like people are getting opportunities that you're not? You know, I know tons of people like that. It's super common to be a hater and like feel like you're being shafted. I know that feeling. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure Street Fighter League is coming up. I'm pretty sure that I'm not in Street Fighter League, my initial reaction was a hint of, damn,
That's what the Mongols will think.
I want to be in Street Fighter League competing. I want to at least be asked, because I wasn't asked, right? But then, the next second is, well, I got to do better. You know what I'm saying? But I guess some people have that shit happen to them where they feel like they could be considered for an opportunity and they weren't. And then they feel like they're owed it. Right? It's a stupid choice for them, though. You would bring in a bigger audience. I don't know how they chose it. I mean, the last time they did it, the way they did it was they picked the captains, and the captains drafted the rest of the team. So, I mean, that just means that they're picking the players that they feel like are giving them the best shot to win. It's a competitive thing. So, that's how it went the previous seasons. Pick a captain. That part was pure, you know, just selection. And then the rest is them trying to win. So that's how it is, right? And like, what would I offer on a team versus other people? Like, what would I offer that Smug doesn't offer kind of deal, you know? So
I've come for Lord Shimura.
there's all those concepts. But yeah, I mean, that's something that goes through my mind, stuff like that. But then I guess the other idea is like, you know, you just gotta do better, get better. That was kind of badass. I didn't know what I was doing, but that was kind of badass. I'm trying to parry him, but that shit don't work. I've had that feeling in varsity before, worked out in the end, but I had to work out my bitterness because honestly it wasn't like productive or healthy for me, I think. Yeah. I'm sure like anything where you get drafted for an opportunity, it's got to feel like shit. But that's why I'm saying like I feel like most people, like that's Rob's point. If you live in the US and you can compete in these online tournaments, like I feel like so many people neglect how much of a platform NLBC is. So many people neglect that. Like, if you can compete in NLBC, you are one of the luckiest motherfuckers in the FGC. Take that shit seriously. That is so like fortunate. Like that is one of the greatest things to come out of COVID. Yeah, I'm trying to help Wednesday Night Fights kind of grow to that level. Like I feel like I'm trying to do my part to make WNF the same scope of platform that it could be. But holy shit, if you can compete in NLBC and you care about competing and growing and getting opportunities in the FGC as a competitor, if you're not trying to bust your ass in that like nearly every single week and give it your all and try to win, like you're fucking up so hard. And I think a lot of people like, yeah, it's online, it's not perfect, but that's one of those things where like you got to suck it up. You 100% got to suck it up. Do what you got to do. Like everyone, if you're in a place where you have terrible internet, you know, like you can't. I can't make everything work for you. What's going on in the online local? What's going on? Speaking of platforms, there's another one for you right there. The online local runs tons of events that you should be tuning into and trying your best in. Like getting your shit tagged in one of those tweets for the online local, WNF, NLBC, retweeting that. Posting clips of your highlight, like you need to build your resume. That shit matters. As much as people like to cap and pretend that online doesn't mean shit, it fucking does. It does. It's not perfect competitive integrity. No, it's not. But that's not the point. The point is, why would someone fucking sponsor you if you're not doing a damn thing? Is NLBC open to everyone? Every tournament in the FGC is open to everyone unless stated otherwise. So yes, NLBC is open to everybody, of course. NLBC, everything is open to everybody.
If I'm not back soon, ride for the forest.
FGC tournaments are built on the back of open bracket tournaments. That's where I got some controversial opinions, though. I feel like that'll actually get me in a little bit of trouble. I feel like the FGC is too enamored with the open bracket tournament to a fault of the growth of the community and the enjoyment of the community. I think it's almost to a fault. Now, don't get me twisted. I'm not saying that open bracket should go away or not remain like the center, like, focus point, right? I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is 25%, if my math is correct, 25% of an open bracket tournament must go 0-2. They must. Right? Like, you can't avoid that. What's the 0-2 are going to do? You know, they enter for fun. They're not the best. They know that. You know, they're entering. They're just trying to have some fun. They enter. It's their first event. And not even. Sometimes you're fucking nice and you go 0-2 because that's how CPT events are. What are they going to do? Or if they're not that good, they enter, they get smoked fucking round 1, they play Tokido. Round 2, they play some ultimate grandmaster or warlord who lost to another international player, right? That shit happens. I went 0-2 at Canada Cup in 2019 and I lost to Sarah Blast and Mr. Crimson. I went 0-2 in Canada Cup 2019 and I lost to those two players. So what the fuck are they supposed to do in the tournament? Did they learn anything? If they're a bronze level player, did they learn anything playing against those players and that's it? I strongly believe that having a more tiered system where we still have tons of open bracket tournaments and they're incorporated, they're like the main events, but having more qualifiers, like Capcom Cup is a qualifier, but it's only one. But every other kind of esport has multiple tiers of qualifiers to enter, which allows people to compete more within their skill level, to graduate to the next tier, and once again compete within a certain skill range and earn the right to keep progressing up a laddered system, which allows people to not only have more in-depth matches and guarantee matches. Like if you make it to like level, you're not open bracket level, you're level 3 or you're level 2, you're tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, right? You're in tier 3. Maybe it can be more of a round robin system or something where like you get to consistently play. Sponsors are more incentivized to have you fucking, you know, fly you out or have you participate in events and pay for you because you're going to have more guaranteed matches, things of that nature, right? And then, you know, that way also, if your tier 1 player gets upset round 1, it's not as much of a risk because, you know, they're still going to get guaranteed spots to play. This also allows people to feel more of a progression because if you're an 0-2er, like, you might get the impression of, like, why even bother? Like, the world is so much smaller now. I feel like the FGC has grown to the point where there's, like, other ways we could approach it, which more people would like. And yeah, having fun stuff for the 0-2 people, that, like, one approach is just having fun stuff for the 0-2ers, beginner tournaments, like have the main open bracket CPT event and then have an 0-2 tournament, right? That's one way, but that's not really what I'm saying. I'm saying have a multi-tiered system because what TNS also does, TNS did the amateur bracket, not even just the 0-2 bracket. They did the amateur bracket plus the 0-2 bracket in the amateur bracket. So I entered the amateur bracket because for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it's a legacy game. It's hard as fuck. People are mad good at the game. They've been playing for a decade. I haven't. I'm not even gonna be able to play the game if I play good players. If I enter the real tournament, I'm gonna be facing seasoned legacy players who are gonna smoke me, and it's gonna be a one-player game. I'm not gonna have fun. I had so much fun in the amateur bracket. I went 0-2 in the amateur bracket, and then I got to play in the 0-2 amateur bracket, and I had so much more fun because it was so much closer in skill level. That way I got to have interesting interactions, right? Like, that was better for me than an open bracket tournament for Marvel 3. So I really feel like the FGC, like people like to beat their chest and talk about grassroots and being FGC is about the community and all that stuff. Like, and I agree, but I feel like it's almost done to the point where people like are not willing to think if there's other creative ways to approach things that could benefit both players who are dipping their toes in the water and players who are trying to actually grow and have an infrastructure to grow in. There's no infrastructure for players. You legit don't have a chance to play versus real Marvel heads. Yeah, it's a one-player game. 100% it's a one-player game if you play good players and you're not at that level. I'm so happy they did that. Made it way better for me. What made me decide to start streaming and become a content creator? I just decided to start streaming because I wanted to stream. That's more what it is. The nigga just grew from there. I mean, I just streamed in 2015. Like, I bought it. I just installed OBS on my laptop to see if it would work, and it did. And I was like, cool. It's like having no weight class in boxing. Kinda, but not really. Unless, like, you compare getting better to literally getting fatter and heavier or something. What's my favorite fighting game OST? I don't really care about fighting game OSTs besides Melty Blood.
I am Jin Sakai, nephew of Lord Shimura.
I don't see the point if you're telling people they're too good to enter a tournament. It's not a tournament. You're either good enough to compete or you aren't. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Do you think anyone can just show up to the NFL and just start playing? Think just before you act like I'm crazy. Just think about any other form of organized competition ever.
I will show him his nephew, broken and humiliated, begging to join the Mongol Empire. This is your time, Lord Sakai.
Athleticism and video games aren't the same. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, you have leagues. In every game you have leagues. I'm already low health. Am I about to die already? No, but I'm obviously not saying get rid of open bracket tournaments. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I feel like there's ways to guarantee. Like, think of how League of Legends does it or any other esport does it. They have leagues that you either qualify for or like you move up the ladder. I should have dodged the other way, huh? Holy shit. Okay, I'm dead.
Enough. Surrender.
Is this a scripted loss?
How easily he can bring peace to your home. Save yourself.
That's a sucker slash. Am I still in the tutorial?
I failed.
My guy has died in the story like 5 times.
Father,
Jin. Help me. May your death benefit all beings.
Dang. Is that his dad? His dad asked for help? Damn. His dad said help me and he didn't? That's rough. That's actually rough. Even when I go play in the park in Guilty Gear Strive and I get a way higher level player, okay, they crush me for a couple games, but when they realize my level, I feel them go into more training mode against me. Are you saying that they stop taking you seriously? Then I do something, they beat me down so I don't get the wrong impression? Of course. 100%. Like, if I'm beating the shit out of a player who's clearly just, like, not anywhere close to my level, I'm not going to be playing the real game. And most of the time, even if I'm playing the standard meta, it's not even going to necessarily work well because they're just going to be doing whatever.
Now the master of Clan Sakai.
Yes.
Samurai game.
Not alone, Chin.
I don't even know what it's called. Ghost of Tsushima?
The wind at your
Ghost of Sushi?
Your mother. The birds in the trees.
And uncle?
He will tell you. At your father's
No, that's Sekido.
Thank you, Yuriko.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not saying that I never go hard against lower level players, but a lot of times I definitely go into playing kind of funky or trying to break their habits.
ever need guidance.
As a competitor, I would never enter a tournament. I don't think I can win. There's an ego element to it. Okay, but oh, come on, bro. Like, be real. You would never enter a tournament you don't think you can win. Okay, there's a difference between not believing you can win and understanding you don't have a great chance to win. So, yeah, what Krim said, are you delusional or are you believing in yourself to an extent where you know you have room for growth and you have the ability to achieve stuff, or do you just not enter tournaments? So there's some people who just don't enter tournaments because they can't handle losing, right? Whatever, nothing's ever going to fix that. I enter every tournament fully knowing I am capable of winning. I also go into tournaments understanding my chances of winning vary based on the competition, and they may be good or they may be bad. But every single match I go in knowing I can win. It's not knowing I will win, it's knowing I can win. So if you don't enter a tournament because you think you will win, that's great. You probably won't. I don't know if that's hard to deal with your ego. I don't think that makes sense to me. There's a difference between saying can win and think I am going to win. Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to practice self-delusionment to like achieve a goal, that's cool too. Who knows? Like, what the fuck am I to say, right? Like, maybe I should just go in thinking I am going to win and just be delusional until it happens. But I don't know how you feel when you lose. What happens when you lose? Because I enter a lot of tournaments, right? I don't want to set myself for a situation where I'm going to avoid entering. Like what I feel like that can easily lead to you. What's it called? You know, the FGC used to do shit like this, and it still exists. People used to hide other tournaments. They used to hide the fact that there'd be a local or like that this other thing existed. They wanted to keep that secret from other players so that they can go to a local and, you know, clean up shop and beat up the scrubs, and the competition wouldn't be there. I feel like having that mentality of I will win can slowly start leading you to avoiding the competition. That is 100% what people used to do. Back when, you know, the FGC wasn't as connected, you could find random tournaments from like Facebook forums, random posts, a fucking GameStop sign said there'd be a tournament here to win $100, whatever. And they, you know, people would go play people who had no idea what they were doing because it was like not actually attached to the core FGC, and they would try to, you know, clean up shop.
Your father protected the people above all else.
This game is pretty sick.
True samurai.
I'm gonna go ahead and end the bounty because we hit 1 full hour. So that's the Ghost of Tsushima. I'm gonna end that right now. Boom. Thanks, guys, for help scratch my back, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. If it actually helped you to be like sometimes visualizing things and believing you can win, that's great. You should definitely do that. I like to visualize stuff and, you know, try to trick your mind into believing something. I can't be delusional. But every single match I go into, I know I can win. I don't go into every match knowing I will win. Because I just don't know how do you mentally juggle that if you end up losing.
Couldn't save him. I was a coward.
And also, I don't think it's wrong to enter tournaments when you know that you're not going to win. I don't think that's a problem at all. Like, how the fuck are you going to be a bronze level dude, bronze ranked, and enter a CPT event thinking I'm going to win? You can't. I mean, you have to absolutely be delusional. You have to absolutely be delusional. And I feel like that's an unhealthy mentality, because I really feel like that's going to dissuade people from even trying. I mentioned it in the beginning of the segment. I went 0-2 at my first couple of events. I was an 0-2er. Not everybody starts off just fucking winning, right? Not everybody starts off like that. The same way you did with Nephew today, just lie. I mean, whatever helps you sleep at night. Oh, Fiverr against Nephew.
You will come to my fortress as my ward.
Nephew won 10-6.
Today, say goodbye to your father.
I play video games? Not really. You think Riot's fighting game Riot Games fighting game will the crown for the most played fighting game ever?
How do I save him?
I have no idea. I don't have an opinion on it because the game doesn't exist yet. My expectations for the Riot fighting game are that it will have good online and have good ranked systems and have good infrastructure around it, which is one of the biggest problems with almost every modern fighting game, is that the ranked modes are ass and the online is ass. Guilty Gear Strive got the online portion right, but everything else around it is garbage. It's one of the worst rank systems of all time. Like, you need to structure things so that people, just like I mentioned with the tournaments, that you need to structure ranks so that people are motivated to keep playing and keep having a goal to work towards. And that's what League does, that's what Valorant does, that's what every other like online competitive game does. But for some reason, fighting games just can't figure that shit out. So I feel like that's going to be the one thing that the Valorant fighting game will have over everybody, is good online and a good ranked system to entice players to keep playing, to stay in the ecosystem of the game. Yeah, every competitive game as a service has that. That's what fighting games are just completely lacking. Completely. Like, Guilty Gear Strive doesn't have any of that shit. A lot of people in Guilty Gear Strive get to Celestial and they're like, oh great, I won. I beat the game.
Jin, what happened?
You need to have something to keep people in the ecosystem. Oh, by the way, Mufasa, I think I didn't say thank you for the resub. I was kind of ranting there. I appreciate the 16 months.
I failed my uncle.
At least you're in.
Yeah, they need rewards for ranks, titles, unlocking costumes, unlocking custom things on your character, unlocking taunts. Like, there's so many things that fighting games are just fumbling the bag on. Dude, Fortnite
What it's like to face
added a
them.
whole custom taunt shop. That fighting games invented taunting.
Sometimes when you're staring death in the face,
Why can't we have monetized custom taunts
you have to do whatever
in fighting
it takes
games?
to survive.
Either maybe you unlock it with an in-game currency or you pay for it.
expects the
Like,
final word is
what?
the
What?
samurai.
Like, Street Fighter 5 went backwards in terms of taunt.
Will anticipate our every move.
Street Fighter 5 went really far backwards in terms of taunts. Street Fighter 4 had great taunts, a wide selection, like 12 per character or something.
How will say viewership
Ace Fencer, thanks for the 6 months.
and retake our home.
You'll need
Seth had that one taunt where he just quickly he cracked his neck real quick. Crack, crack.
of them. Hide in the grass.
That one was so sick. That was my shit. Seth just crack, crack, and then you just fucking demolish them. Oh man, that was my shit. What's happening? Oh. Oh.
The Khan's attack dogs.
There's too many of them. Hide in the grass.
Y'all really didn't see that? Was teabagging a thing back in Street Fighter 4 days? A little bit, but not like it was in 5. Taunting was definitely more of a thing in Street Fighter 4.
They must be searching for you.
I'm not really even playing this game.
Stood
I'm just
still.
walking around and talking.
They're samurai mounts, trained to return to their masters.
Nice trick.
I always felt that there was no professional goal that I can achieve in any fighting game other than my rank
We should split
or
up.
progressional
I'll draw
goal
their attention.
other than my rank, and that's why it kind of stopped me from being interested after a while. Yeah, they really like it's multifaceted, the issue. You have to have good netcode so that you can have a wide array of players that you can actually play against. Then once you have good netcode, which is the bare fucking minimum, you need to have good matchmaking so that people get matched up with people of similar skill levels. Then you need to have a progression system to allow people to climb the ranks, and then you need to have rewards and other things for it. You need this stuff. You need to add, the flashy lights and titles and other stuff. Every other game knows this.
Taka won't last
Fighting games are
long
just
anymore.
so far behind. It's so stupid.
We will save your brother.
So stupid.
And your uncle.
Have I played Skyrim before? No. Somehow, I've avoided giving whatever the developer is my money for this long. I don't think I've played any Bethesda game. It's Bethesda, right? I don't think I've played a single Bethesda game. Ever. Then you have weirdos who are against skill-based matchmaking for some reason. Yeah, because they're Call of Duty YouTubers and they want to stomp on noobs. But it's fine for them to have... I don't even understand why that's a debate. You should just have non-skill-based matchmaking modes. It's that easy. I really don't get it. Oh, am I driving? Oh, pretty. Man, I wish I had a PS5 right now. Ooh, very pretty. Very pretty. Okay, kind of nice. I'm still in the tutorial? Am I finally done with the tutorial? I wanted a duck. Oh, I can see through the water. That's kind of creepy. I didn't expect to actually be able to see through the water. Like, that gave me the heebie-jeebies for a second. This game isn't on PC? I don't think it is. I think it's only on PS4 and PS5. I do wish I had a PS5 for this. Alright, guys. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I'm having some fun shooting the shit with you. How did you guys feel about doing this? I was trying to find stuff to talk about and blab about. You know, obviously it was an excuse to do a sponsored segment. I you know, they usually give me I get these bounties to do these things where they offer you bounties to play games. Usually I never do them because I don't want to play the game and I think it would be whack. But this game I always thought was kind of cool looking, and I was inspired by Rob, and I figured it would be something we could do, like do a Street Fighter, do a fighting game big stream, and then chill after, and then just talk and shoot the shit. Because I like to talk to you guys, but when I'm playing games, I usually only do it in between stuff. A lot better than that Nickelodeon bounty. Whoa, the ad for that puppet show, that ad was sick. I'll give you anything to talk about the Fang matchup. V reversal appropriately. What's good, Slavic? Haven't played Ghost of Tsushima. It was cool so far. I barely paid attention though, to be honest, but it's pretty. It's just hard for me to play other games. I don't usually find the time to do it. Did you already know a base level editing? I learned I learned all this shit on the fly, right? I didn't know how to do any of this before I started. That's the number one bit of advice I would give you if you're interested in doing any kind of content creation, is you need to just do it. That's all I can tell you. And that's with almost anything in life. You just need to do it. And you will be ass at it, and you will not know what you're doing, and you'll slowly figure it out as you're going, and you'll be producing stuff as you don't know what you're doing. Never wait to be perfect at anything. And there's a quote that I like that's like, perfection, don't let perfection be the enemy of good. Because you will never be perfect at anything. That's the number one bit of advice, and that's what I feel like so many people get like this streamer's block on, is they want their stream to be perfect. Bro, what the fuck is my stream? I got Smiley Man over here. I got an Equinox logo, and I got the chat on the screen. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have any effects. I don't have anything. I just did it a lot. For years now at this point. Yo, during my first day of school, I got seated next to a guy watching your videos, and now we are close as fuck and play each other during lunch. Holy shit. That's a beautiful love story. Can I be invited to the wedding? Is that, wait, what, like, how old are you guys? Are you guys in, like, high school? Or college? Are kids watching my videos on their phones in high school? Bro, that makes me feel something. I don't know why. Once again, it's just like the context. I can't imagine the youth of today, with all the potential in the world, sitting in class, not paying attention to what they're supposed to be and watching my videos on their phones instead. That's sick. Thanks for sharing that, Styru.